Good day everyone! Today we will discuss about what are the water sources, streams, and landforms that our world have. Here's now our main learning objectives for today's lesson. The students will be able to know what is water sources, streams, and landforms all about, and what are there some examples. First thing is, what is water? Anyone class? Very good! Out of various things that a human being needs for survival, water is one of them. Water is one of the most precious resources for humans as well as the other creatures living. Without water, we cannot imagine our life. It is very essential and comes from its own resource. Resource in simple terms can be defined as the place where a certain substance can be widely found and supplied from. Water resources are sources that are useful to humans. It is important because it is needed for life to exist. Many uses of water include agricultural, industrial, household, recreational, and environmental activities. Virtually, all these human uses require fresh water, right? The world's water exists naturally in different forms and locations, in the air, on the surface, below the ground, and in the oceans. 97% of the water on Earth is salt water, and only 3% is only fresh water. Slightly over two-thirds of this is frozen in glaciers and polar ice caps. The remaining unfrozen fresh water is found mainly as groundwater, with only a small fraction percent above ground or in the air. Natural sources of fresh water include surface water, under river flow water, groundwater, and the frozen water. Actually, class, the water sources that our world have is that the salt water has a 97%. The ice we have 2.96%. The groundwater we have 0.9%. The lakes 0.008%. While the wetlands has a 0.001%. While the rivers has a 0.0002%. Water is in constant circulation on Earth's surface, moving from the ocean to the atmosphere, from the atmosphere and back to the surface, and in and out of the subsurface. The circulation of water from one part of this water system to another, whether above or below Earth's surface, is called the hydrologic cycle. From the perspective of living things, the hydrologic cycle is a critical system on Earth. It involves a number of important and mostly familiar processes. It is driven by energy from the sun. Water resources are vital for the survival of human beings. We cannot live without it, and it is the duty of the most intelligent species on Earth to be responsible for the pollution we're doing and try and divert the oncoming crisis. Now class, let's move to the streams. Stream is the body water with the subsurface water flowing with the bed, the banks of a channel. The flow of a stream is controlled by three inputs: the subsurface water, the surface water, and the groundwater. A moving water driven by gravity flowing from the higher to lower elevations. The water in streams come from precipitation, snowmelt, springs, and lakes. A stream drains a specific area and joins other streams draining other areas, forming an interconnected drainage network or stream system. Well, what is drainage system? Drainage systems develop in such a way as to efficiently move water off the land. The surface and subsurface water are highly variable between periods of rainfall. Groundwater, on the other hand, has relatively constant input and is controlled more by a long-term patterns of precipitation, depending on its location or certain characteristics. A stream may be referred to by a variety of local or regional names. Long, large streams are usually called rivers. Yes, a stream flows through a forest. Its clear rushes over rocks and swirls in deep pools. It is home of many plants and animals. Many more live along its banks. Water in many small rivers and streams decreases to a trickle and entirely disappears further down the drainage. In other cases, a stream will flow even though there has not been rain or snow melt in a long time. These occurrences are a result of interactions with the groundwater. Streams are important for several reasons. Streams carry most of the water that goes from the land to the sea, and those are an important part of the water cycle. Streams carry billions of tons of sediment to lower elevations, and thus are one of the main transporting mediums in the production of sedimentary rocks. It is also carry dissolved ions, the products of chemical weathering, into the oceans, and thus make the sea salty. Streams are a major part of the erosional process, working in conjunction with weathering and mass wasting. Much of the surface landscapes is controlled by stream erosion. And streams are a major source of water, waste disposal, and transportation for the world's human population. And most population centers are located next to streams. Streams have a channel patterns, which are types of sedimentary deposits formed by streams and rivers. Collectively, they are called fluvial deposits. Their shape and sediment characteristics are easily identified and enormously complex. The straight, meandering, and braided channels are the stream's channels pattern. Now let's move to the landforms. Well, landforms, it is a natural or artificial feature of the solid surface of the Earth or other planetary body. Landforms together make up given terrain. So there are many types of landforms on the Earth's surface, such as mountains, plateaus, valleys, desert, continents, and oceans are considered to be the most basic landforms, and the arrangement of smaller landforms within these bodies is known as topography for continental features and bathymetry for undersea features. Landforms are created by different natural forces. Some are within Earth and some are on the surface of Earth. Landforms can also be changed by humans or tectonic plate movement. However, there are different factors on how the features are formed. First is the aeolian landforms, which are planetary features that have been formed by wind through either construction or erosion. Cryogenic landforms are created by periglacial processes resulting from alternate freezing, thawing, and cooling over time. Third is the coastal or oceanic landforms. These landforms include the oceans themselves as well as relief features beneath the sea and along the surrounding coast. These include mid-ocean mountain ranges, the guyots, marine terraces, the abysses, basins, plateaus, ridges, trenches, and seamounts. Next is the erosion landforms. Is a process by which sediment or other material is gradually taken away from a landform. The fluvial landforms are created through processes associated with rivers and streams. The impact landforms. Impact events or collisions between astronomical objects such as planets, the moons, the comets, and the asteroids have occurred throughout the evolution of our solar system. The karst landforms are created through the dissolution of certain types of rocks, frequently limestone, dolomite, and gypsum, but occasionally more resistant rocks such as quartzite. The lacustrine landforms, also known as the lake plains, began as lakes that became filled with sediment. The mountain or glacial landforms. The typical mountain landform consists of a large peak with a distinguishable summit, while the glacial landforms are created by glacial forces, including movement, cryogenics, abrasion, erosion, and deposition. The slope landforms are formed by tectonic activity and erosion. And the last one is the tectonic landforms. Most of the Earth's landforms are tectonic in origin and are later shaped by erosion and other forces. The tectonic landforms are created primarily by processes contributing to the rising and falling of the Earth's crust. Here are some examples of famous landforms that our world have. The Pharaoh Chimneys in Turkey, the Halong Bay in Vietnam, Eye of the Sahara in Mauritania, the Great Blue Hole of Belize, the Moraki Boulders in New Zealand, the Wave Rock in Australia, the Stone Forest in China, the Bryce Canyon in National Park in Utah, the Vermilion Cliffs National Monument in Arizona, and the last one is the Chocolate Hills of the Philippines. That will be all. I hope you've learned. Till our next meeting, be ready, be prepared. Good morning.